back, everyone. Thank you so much for stopping by. And today we shall cover labels. Labels on our food. How do we do? Do we choose them properly? Do we understand them? If any of you on Facebook or anywhere must have seen at least this picture at least once about Nutella, and somebody just showing what's really included with them. And I have a few people who say, I still eat Nutella because it's got a lot of nuts inside, so it's good for your health. Okay, hazelnuts. Hazelnuts, is it the best nuts around? Is it really good? You know what? I'll do a video on that and explain all the nuts and all the different qualities and for how good it is for us. Cocoa or cacao, there is a difference, and there is a difference in their quality. Skim milk powder speaks for itself. Palm oil, you know how bad that is for environment, and in my video for oils, we've seen how bad it is for inflammation of our body, not counting the 45% of sugar, white sugar, that there is in there, as bad as for inflammation. Well, without any ado, let's cover it. Let's see, how do I move forward with this? There you go. I'll give you about 10-15 seconds just to review these two cans of beans that taste exactly the same, and let's say they were exactly the same price. Which one would you select? Give you another 5 seconds. Take a good look. Okay, you got the no name on the left hand side, and you got the name that everybody knows. Now, which one would you have selected? Let's take a look at what's the most important before we read the rest of what the nutritional values of this can is let's understand what's the portion. What are we reading for? Well, on the left side, you're reading for 1 cup, 250 mils. And I know some people are saying, damn, I didn't see that. Yeah, but if you did, congratulations. Not much people do. And that's how manufacturers sometimes trick you into lowering their values so they don't look as high. On the right-hand side, you got half a cup. So you got to multiply everything you see there by 2 to make it equal to the left-hand side. So let's move forward. We look, calories, not much of a difference. 70 calories, not the end of the world. We have a little bit of saturated fats, 0.3. It's not what's the highest. But the sodium, we're talking about twice as much sodium, and almost 42% to almost half the quantity that we need in one day. Between 2,000 and I think 2,500 is the quantity we need for the day. And we know our food in North America, it's so high in salt, anyways, to start off with. Always high in salt, always high in sugar. So if we want to be able to eat something during our day and not exceed the quantity of salt that we have intake, it's kind of important to say, hey, let's keep an eye on that. Let's make sure that we eat the proper, nutrition, and we keep that quantity of salt and sugar down. Yeah, sugar's maybe got a teaspoon and something a little bit more. Not the end of the world in there, but the salt is, the high point on this, ingredient can. Let me give you an easier one. There you go. I know everybody's eyes are all going to be focused on, the quantity. Yes, they are exactly 250 mils each, but take a look. I know a lot of people are just going to take a look at the sugar. Let's move forward and take a look. On there, we have trans. Trans on the right-hand side. Trans is so bad as in oil and fat, and I did explain that in my oils. It's hydrogen chemical taken to emulsify your fat and make it look richer, but it's all synthetic. And it's been so bad that government in 2019 September, October gave the companies a year or 2 years to get rid of all trans fat in their products. That's how bad it is. And we're so far behind because Europe has been doing it for a long time. Yes, sugars are very high. 16 grams. It's exactly what you see here. 4 full teaspoons of sugar. Teaspoons, not tablespoons, but teaspoons. But still, that's a lot of sugar when we know that between 25 and 30 grams or 35 grams is the maximum that we shouldn't take per day. But we find it in our fruits. We find it in most of the, natural, food that we eat. Why would we want to take a synthetic white sugar, cheap sugar, if that's what they use? I'm not saying that's what they use, but in our food, we should stay away from all sugar in our food, except for what is coming natural in, real food. Cholesterol, yeah, it's 5 milligrams. But you know what? If it's a vegetable cholesterol, cholesterol is needed in our blood for testosterone within, our body. It's all part of it. So we need it. Even for a vitamin D. It's all part of it. It's something that I'll get into it a little bit later. Moving forward, from right to left, no, from left to right, we're going from the best going to mediocre, or should I say bad, or just normal white bread. I won't go through all the details because you could pause it and take a look at it. But basically, if you're not even interested in multivitamins, something that, hey, just 2 slices of bread could bring you a well-balanced, but not enough for your day, but you'll find it in most of your food anyways. If we take a look on the right-hand side, you'll see that you only have calcium and you have iron, but you don't have anything combined with calcium to make it happen and to transport it or to absorb it, like magnesium or vitamin D. Yeah, you'll find in maybe the rest of your food if you eat properly that day, but iron combines with vitamin C. Both of them work great together. You don't have any vitamin C in there. You take a look at the left-hand side. Everything's there. Calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D. All there. You take a look at vitamin C. It's there with the iron. You see, you got a good mixture and good combination of thing, and good fat, polysaturated fat. So without going any more in detail about that, but just check your bread. Look for monosaturated if you can, as most as possible. But the monosaturated fats are really the best. Polysaturated after, and you have to saturate it, whatever comes afterwards. Even also with the sugars and with the less salt as possible. This one made me laugh. Calorie wise on the left hand side. Remember that, calorie wise. I mean, it's going to have a lot less calories than the one that is fat free on the right hand side. Yeah, maybe without less fat, you'll have a little bit less calories, but I turned them around. Let me zoom it up for you, and I apologize for the quality of the picture because I'll go back to the store and take another picture of it. You got 15 calories more on the calorie wise than you have on the one on the right that's fat free. Should have written fat free and calorie wise. This is the same company. It always makes me think red flashing, green, really nice bright green, looks healthy with bright colors, will grab your attention, but it's all a marketing scheme. Take 3 teaspoons on the one that's on the left-hand side. You have 45 calories that are too much already in your diet. But for the rest, there's not much difference. I haven't gotten into the ingredients. I won't do that now. That will be another video. Moving forward, yeah, the list of ingredients, I will really go into detail about that and try to explain everything for you. And in my book, I started putting all the ingredients that we'll talk about during these videos, what I've understood, what I've studied, and what is approved and what is not approved, which you should like moderate, or some like trans fat, which you could simply stay away from. The 4 rules. Well, people, I apologize. There's 2 slides which are in French. And you know what? I will continue, but I'll explain them. And I promise to you, I will switch all the rest, and I will, retranslate for the next video. But let me just explain. These 4 rules, I really put like, a tamper on them. They say, get away. Rule number 1: stay away from names you have a hard problems pronouncing. Well, you know what? Some form of vitamin C that is done as preservative, to preserve your food, is very hard to, pronounce. So yeah, I could understand that. Like, let's say you read like so many different terms or ingredients that are hard to pronounce, and you see that this type of food is ultra transformed. Yeah, then try to keep it as low as possible. Like, the rule of 5 ingredients and less. Try to keep that in there. That is true and not true, because I got a protein powder that's got what, 25, 30 ingredients. They're all bio, they're all perfectly normal, and they're all good for your health. And they got over 30, and I approve that. So it doesn't work for everything, but it works for in general when you're going into food. Just make a common sense thing. If when you're talking transformation, even when you make your own spaghetti sauce, the vegetables you cut and you heat, you transform them. And my spaghetti sauce got like over 10 different things in there, to make it taste good, and they're all good. Does that mean it's ultra transformed? No, just means it's transformed. So and I could say all the names, trust me. But don't go for that hype. If there's a lot of complicated words you've never seen before, you always got my book to refer to when I post that. But it's just like make common sense. You see normal stuff that you see in there that's normal, like veggies, spices that you understand. Go on with common sense. Yes, without additives or coloring, artificial colors, it's always good. It's always best, to go without these things. But again, if you don't have anything to preserve in your food, it's like you get this corner store where you buy your bread, your long loaf of bread, and you get home and you tear a piece out, you eat it right away because it's still warm, it tastes great. You wrap it up, and then 2 days later you go, oh my god, I got to eat this before it's no good. But you take it out, it's hard as a rock. There's nothing in there to preserve it. It's normal, it's like, but was the products used to make the bread have something to preserve those? But once everything's combined, it doesn't really work on your full loaf of bread. It's things that I'll get into. There's a lot of gray zones in there. And don't fall for the marketing scheme. That's basically what's written for the 4th rule, which we just explained. Why is it not moving forward? There you go. Every time I seem to turn around, I seem to find another name for another sugar that seems to be on the market. Have you guys noticed that? A new name out there, which it's under sugar, but it's a name you've probably never seen before. I'm up to 66, I think, 67 different kind of sugars that I found. Though that was just a while back. I took that off. There's 65 sugars, that was available at that time, but right now there's a lot more. And I'll get into that. The GI in the different types of sugar, how high it spikes your blood, insulin, and if it's good for you, these new alcohol sugars that they keep bringing out, is it really good? We'll get all into that in a few other videos. I don't have time to cover that today. Well, what did we learn? Basically, that's what that page talks to you about. I explain everything about water and how water is important, to get the right amount. Sleep 7 to 8 hours. We know that's so important. That's almost a video by itself. Do exercise 2 to 3 times a week. Well, we hear it so much, and yes, it is important to keep that body active. Eat the proper amount of proteins, and oh my god, that's I think 5 to 10 videos just by protein alone, how so important it is to maintain your muscles so they don't get used up and then your bones get the effect of it. You don't lose that bone capacity or density, should I say. It's probably the best word. Eat the good amount of calories. That's a subject too that I want to cover. And multivitamins. Do you really believe in multivitamins, or do you take them, or what? Yeah, I look at these vegan peoples or the ones that's even completely eliminated animal products out of their lives. B12 is completely non-existent in their nutrition. So what do they have to do? I asked the question. Yeah, I take a supplement. Okay, so you do believe in supplements. How about calcium, magnesium, vitamin D during winter? If you're over 50. Yeah, I take that too. Okay, so that's 3-4 bottles. Why not just take a multivitamin when you say you got to compensate for something or you haven't eaten properly that day? You see how the discussion could get really into details. It's broad. It's like opening a can of worms. This one fascinated me the most, and I even put that in my book. But still, let's take males, moderate active. 2,800 calories when you're between 19 and 30, if you take the top range. 2,400 calories when you're 51 and over, because our body changes, our body's less fast than we were before. Our metabolisms in our bodies is not as quick, and everything, all the changes in our body. So we eliminate 400 calories per day. Let me take a quick calculation here. 400 calories per day multiplied by 365 days divided by 4,000 calories, 3,500, 4,000 calories, we could argue on that, makes 1 pound. We're talking 36.5 pounds. A lot of people are going to say, wow, I'm 36.5 pounds lighter. Man, I'll go for it. It's not the pounds I'm looking at. It's basically you're cutting off 400 calories per day. For some people, that's a whole meal, trust it or not, during an afternoon because they don't want to fall asleep. 400 calories of less nutrition, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, proteins that you're not taking in your body. 400 calories and all those things that you're missing out that you used to take. Is that going to affect your body? Maybe it is. Maybe it'd be good just to exercise to make sure that we burn that 400 calories so we're able to continue our 2,800 calories and not have a lack. So you make sure that you eat very, very good during that day. If not, if you have that cheating day, maybe it'd be good to take that multivitamin. You see how that gets hairy? Let's continue. So what I'm saying here is what I'm here to teach is what we select in the market. How do we take a look at nutrition, labels, and how do we take the right decision? A specialist on TV, that makes me, it fascinated me because that's exactly what happened to our son. It's not as bad, but I mean, in, high school, how his grades were not that high, and then we changed nutrition, and he was the 3 best students in the whole school and got all these certificates at the end of the year and everything like that. And how we just changed his food, and it's exactly what this guy did. 3 months changed a kid. I think the kid's 10 years old. 3 months of changing nutrition. Look at the difference. Well, that's it, folks. I said I'd try to keep it as short as possible. Sorry for that French. I promise next videos I'll change everything back to English. It's a lot of translation. Everything on labels, I'll explain everything on that. If you found this useful, please, guys, help me. Subscribe to this channel. It does help me out. Hit the like button. That will get YouTube to take a look at my channel and, you know, view it a lot better, and it's going to help out. And you know, hit that, you know, that bell, you know, just make sure that you select all, so every time I do post a video, you'll be, you know, aware and notified. And if you liked and you see something that you found useful for somebody else, share the video, help me out. All right, so thank you, people, and have a great day.